favorite Twitter accounts actually is has Jeff Bezos ended world hunger today? And every day it tweets out, no, he has not, because of his insane, vast amount of money. And it's just insane that, not only does he have enough money to literally end world hunger, but he also has enough money to properly treat his employees at, Amazon and Whole Foods, all of his burgeoning empires. He has more than enough wealth and resources to make sure that these human beings are, treated decently, protected from the coronavirus and their families. I mean, you said you're a father. I can't imagine you'd want to be bringing home a deadly virus into your home with your family in it. It's absolutely outrageous that, this is going on, not just at Amazon, of course, but, capitalist organizations and, the owner class has really just used this whole opportunity to basically further the exploitation of the lower class. And it seems like, COVID has really just laid bare the glaring inequalities presented by American capitalism. In case anyone hadn't already realized said inequalities, I think it's pretty undeniable now. And of course, among those inequalities is, of course, the inherent racism in our society, which you've spoken a lot about. You said that you experienced that at Amazon before even COVID started with, you failed to be promoted even though you've been there for so long. Can you speak just a little bit more about your experiences as a Black man from Staten Island and about the oppressive nature of corporate capitalism in your community?
Absolutely. That's another topic. It's just like, we praise Amazon for providing jobs in our communities, and we think that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But if you look at the whole picture, the bigger picture, it's really not. They raise the property value when they set up shop in your neighborhood. They don't provide any type of public housing. They're bringing in people from outside to come work for them. They do hire from the urban areas, and it's a high turnover company. So if you're hiring from the urban areas, you give people chances, but you take it right back. Hire and fire. That's what they do. It's a high turnover company, and as a Black man, you got to work twice as hard to even get noticed in there. And then on top of that, when you get to a good position like a PA, something that I was, you have to work 10 times as hard to get promoted to a manager, a salaried manager. Just think about it. Y'all know me now. 6 months later, I'm still fighting against the company. You can imagine how hard it must have been with my personality and my attitude, and the fact that I speak up for my workers.
Yeah.
Me on the manager level, we will always be clashing heads, and we would never see eye to eye. I didn't fit that culture. They want a culture where you do what you're told and that's it. Especially if you're white, they promote you as long as you stay in line. With us, with Black people, we had to stay in line. We have to change who we are as people, pretty much adapt to their culture. And if you do not do that, you will be hindered. You will be held back. I applied for the manager position within my 4 years over 45 times and only had, 2 interviews. I've seen people come in, my white counterparts that come in and get promoted right over me in less than 6 months. So that right there was very alarming to me. Discouraging, disgusting, actually, the fact that I put so much hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into the company. And all I'm asking for is just to be treated equally. And I never had that opportunity. So once again, it made it easier for me to step away from the company, take further action, and now continue to advocate against the company because our demands are not met. And I know there's other people in my position that feel the same way, that just scared to speak up. Yeah. So I'm fighting for them as well.
Yeah. On a consumer level, I think a lot of people are really disturbed by, the increasing consolidation they see happening with Amazon and with the Bezos empire. And they, they definitely don't approve of the worker conditions or all this stuff. But there is this increasing sense, especially with the coronavirus, that people are going to shop on Amazon because they don't want to go outside or just because it's increasingly so convenient. How would you urge consumers to change their habits of purchasing? And how would you urge them to, make sure that their hard-earned money is going back into, their own local communities rather than just into the pockets of this man who's, now past the multi-$200 billion threshold or something?
Absolutely, yeah. I urge consumers to, just think that this company is fairly new still. It's been around for what 26, 27 years, and we always didn't have Amazon. It always wasn't no one click buy. We got to result back to our old society sometimes. Go to your local mom and pop stores. Go to your local grocery stores. Support them. Those are the ones that are being put out of business by these juggernaut companies like Amazon. Support the local post office, things like that. Your local community stores are still here. The few that are still open. We want to make sure we support them, keep them afloat. Amazon is started this delivery service maybe a decade ago, and we forgot that we didn't always have this luxury, and that's the thing. We're adapting to the 21st century, and instead of adapting, we should be trying to bring back what we always had, which is right in front of us. Our small businesses, mom and pop stores, Black-owned businesses. There's a lot of them out there. You just have to do your homework in your community and support them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just think because it's one click buy that is you're doing a good deed, because you're not. You're putting workers at risk. You're putting yourself at risk. And on top of that, you're supporting a man that definitely doesn't care about your community, his workers, or anything that doesn't have to do with resulting in bringing dollars into his pockets and meeting his demands as a billionaire. This man makes $4,000 a second, and half the country's unemployed right now. Why would you want to contribute to that? It just doesn't make sense. So as a consumer, I'm always asking, boycott, cancel your Prime. Until the company does right by its workers, don't do right by the company.
And yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I think that it's something that's that's not spoken about enough. What consumers can do just with voting with their dollar, essentially. I mean, obviously alongside activism, one thing that anyone can do is just not support these companies. And I mean, supply and demand. I'm in Kansas City, and we were actually the first city in America that a Starbucks had to close up shop and leave town because no one came to it. It was across the street from a locally owned coffee shop that had been a beloved institution for years, and they tried to put a Starbucks right across the street. Well, it had to leave in less than a couple of years because it wasn't getting any business. I mean, these are still businesses, and they still do need money to survive. So if they're not getting income and revenue, then they are going to shut down. And I think that's an underrated, tool when it comes to just your average consumer for fighting back against these things. So thank you for speaking about that.